What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, coming to you live from New York after the App Promotion Summit. Had a phenomenal time there. Got to meet some great entrepreneurs, app founders, and share some amazing content. And it's one of my favorite events of the year. So if you're in London, Berlin, New York, check out App Promotion Summit. And so we're doing this a little bit early than the normal programming time. So hopefully it works better for most people. But what I wanted to kind of talk about this particular episode is going to be a little bit different. These are a couple of our clients that we're working with. I wanted to bring them on, really break through our growth strategy with them and answer any of their question along with any of yours. So without further ado, let's get started. Guys, okay, so we got a crew here, all right? Something different. We got Sebastian and Nacho from Kibit. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you for having us, Steve.
And then I'm going to talk about the app a little bit. And then we got Gabe from Giftology as well. Gabe, thank you. Welcome to the show. You're on mute. Sorry, I put you on mute because there was a background noise.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm good. Nice to be here.
Well, thanks for doing this. I know it's a little bit awkward and a little bit different. So I'm excited to do this with you guys. But why don't we start it off with Sebastian and Nacho? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the app? And then we'll get started with some of the growth strategies here.
Great. Well, I can start. Basic Kibit is an habit building application. We offer more than 500 book summaries and audiobooks curated by experts and designed to help you learn something new every day, quick and in a simple way. I guess our difference is that we curate our content by experts and specialists in each field. And we update our content on a regular basis to ensure relevance in all the topics that matter to our users. And we devote the content in Kibits. That's why the name of the app. Then you can memorize and apply what you learned through the app, and you can collect the Kibits and reinforce your knowledge with the smart reminders. So you decide how to learn. We provide the knowledge.
How do it, Sebastian? Like, how does it differentiate from like Headway and Blinkist? What would you feel like is your differentiating factor?
Well, we focus more on our content. We try not to use AI. We try to created all the content with experts and specialists in each field. And we are focused more on Latin American writers. And we try to amplify the Latin American culture to the world.
I love it. I
And naturally to add something, but I guess that's the big difference.
Our main selling point is this: the Latin American content, particularly for the markets that we started the app in, and in the US we've been using right now. It's the Hispanic Heritage Month, for example. So we're highlighting books like, for example, the Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, or the Teachings of Don Juan by Castañeda, and we have writers who really know their stuff about these authors and this particular style of self-improvement books. Yeah. So what they do is give them to authors that really know how to talk to the consumers of these kinds of apps. It's not just a summary of the book, because a summary of the book, you can find it anywhere, but it's the book explained, and we try to translate ideas from the book to examples from daily life, and to make it more palatable for not only for the reading, but for the repeated reading or listening of the book, so you can really reinforce those concepts. We try to go straight to the bone.
I like it. Okay. I'm trying to go through what we have done for you too, and I will kind of look through this. And I think what I was are these the screenshots that we provided for you guys, or was this something that you guys put together?
That's the ones that you provided. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you on the CPP? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Original. Okay. These are the original one. I see it. Okay. Maybe I should go to a different country. code. What's the most popular country
Mexico.
right now? Mexico? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking through the screenshot copies that we kind of put together. You know, what I would do, I love the mission. I love what you guys put together is lean into that. Like speak on the Spanish side of things. The fact that this is, because I don't see that anywhere. And I'm looking at the screenshot optimization we put together for you guys. And it does very much still say the same stuff. Like instead of book summaries, I mean, that is your competitive advantage above Headway and Blinkist and all that stuff is exactly what you guys just said. Hey, it's Spanish authors, right? And I know you guys said something different. I'm trying to remember as I was doing the research, but it's these type of authors for these type of people. Let's go. And I think that's your significant advantage. And obviously I knew some of the data already. And so I would lean into that. I think a lot of people default to the US, which, you know, makes sense. But I've talked to many people who found success in like Brazil. And I know they speak Portuguese, but in outside countries, that is the normal US, UK, the English speaking ones. So given that advantage and the whole reason you guys built this app, I would lean into that a bit more. And then with it being, you know, the celebration of Latin Americans in the US, like I would reach out to Apple. I think they're always looking for those type of diversity forward apps. And that would be the main advantage. And so I would lean into that a bit more. Just speak directly to your audience.
Do you think that our target audience knows the Blinkist or Headway? Do you think that they have tried them before, or do they need to be introduced to the whole concept and then, well, this is our differentiator?
I think you can say book summaries from, right? Like that's it. Yeah. Right. Yeah, and then that's like, let's be proud of the heritage. Here are the amazing authors from our culture. Like, I think I would just totally lean into it. I mean, the best analogy I can use, Nacho, is the early in the days, you know, of App Masters, I had growth hacking the app stores as the main headline in our website. And somebody came to me and said, Steve, I have no idea what that means. You should change your title. All right. That's person A. Person B came to me and said, Steve, I want to work with you because you said growth hacking the app store. Now, Nacho, person B is my audience. Person A has nothing to do with apps, right? Like he doesn't know shiznit about apps and he knows stuff about other things, but he doesn't know shiznit about apps or like the growth hacking culture. And so speak to your audience, right? Like really target that message to your audience. I think especially in this, you know, the title of this was competing with multi-million-dollar brands. I think you got to find your unique angle inside of this too. So, and honestly, like when I first started this journey too, I didn't want to talk about ASO. And this was in 2014, right? Like this was like 11 years ago. And I was like, well, there's a few people that I really admire that are talking about ASO. I don't feel like I should be talking about it. Let me try to find a unique angle. And so, but what happened was when I did start talking about ASO, things completely changed too. And so I think the analogy I'm using is like, Headway and Blinkist already proved the model that this is a need that people want. You just found your unique spin. And when I started talking about ASO, I had my own unique spin on it than what I was seeing others, because I was like giving the details. I was using data and I was saying, look at the data. Here's what this means and here's a spreadsheet that we use versus what like other people are just saying about like title, subtitle, subscript, you know, keywords and all that stuff. I was really giving the data behind it.
Yeah, that's great. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to, explain what we're doing because our audience probably has already tried some of these apps before.
Yeah, and book summaries are pretty common.
Self-explanatory, yes.
Yeah.
You're on mute.
Yeah.
I didn't want you guys to hear me drinking water, but you guys wanted to talk to me about pricing and benchmarks. Is there anything around that, or do you want to go through the app a little bit?
Pricing. Well, Actually, one of the things that we learn is that on the beginnings, we lower our prices, thinking that will be, well, converted as more competitive.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, it's like we lowering the offer of our app, you know? So we try to change the prices back again to the original ones. And we are focusing on trying to implement that. Next week, we're going to change the prices again. So yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
You know, I do think that, yeah, I like it. All right, Sebastian. So like, again, on the onboarding, lean in to that advantage. Now I know I'm pulling it from the US, so keep that. That's fine with me, but lean into that advantage. And then I like this.
The other things that we implement yesterday was we split the paywall on the onboarding. And based on one of your recommendations, so we implement yesterday. And well, I think we're gonna wait a couple of weeks, and then we're trying to do an A/B test with a scrolling paywall. That one of the people of your team told me that it will be a good idea to try.
I love it. Let's. I mean, we have to test. I don't know. I like that. I like the way that you ask for commitment. How much time are you willing to do? This is cool. Yes. I like it. Yeah. I mean, you know, like somebody was talking about this at the event yesterday. Is like how, you know, what should you do for onboarding? And I'm like, just take what's already working. You know, Headway's already doing this. So it's very representative of Headway. All right. This looks good.
Okay, this is the paywall that we split in 3 now.
Yeah.
Now we're the benefits, then we're doing the trial, and then just at the end, we're doing the price.
Okay. So the thing that it's working really, really well now is the whole, I like the top version, Sebastian Nacho, but what I would do is split it up into what I call, I'm going to give credit to my friends at Resome, and I'm going to do it that way. That's the, have you guys seen me talk about this at all?
Yes, of course.
That's what you guys are going to do?
Yes, that's what we're going to do next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Make the proposal very clear to the user.
Yeah. The only thing I would add is the animation. I might keep that before. I might separate it because I don't know where your eye is going, but I keep looking at the animation. Right? Gabe's nodding for those who are just listening to the audio. And it's like a magician, right? A magician's gonna be like, oh, Nacho, look over here so that I can do something right here. Like my eye is gonna go to what's moving. And so you want your user's eyes to go in that continue button, that pay button, right?
Okay. We really wanted to make an eye-catching animation and we went too far, I think.
No, I love it. It just separate it.
Okay.
Because, you know, I think I've seen this with other apps too. They have the screen right before. So it's like this without Kibit, with Kibit. And then we want you to try Kibit and unlock this. It could be just like, we want you to try Kibit, right? Here's the first week, month. So one of the things that we just learned too, and this is the cool thing about the community that we have, is people share back, right? And so the here, let me share it. The thing that I did with Clear 30, you know, Archer and them, they share this. So, whoops, let me pull this up. There you go. Right. We want you to, so that's what I'm imagining is with Kibit, you can keep it like this. With Kibit, we want you to try Kibit for free. With Kibit, without Kibit, we'll send you a reminder.
Yeah.
And then you hit them with the paywall.
That's the one we're going to try on A/B test. In a couple
of
weeks. Your team share with me that. Yeah.
Amazing. We just talked to a bunch of entrepreneurs who are doing this, and they are definitely, it's working for them.
Oh, I love that line. It's not about willpower. It's about a system that actually works.
So that's what they did. Yeah. They changed it from, you know, this, we want you to try for free, to this type of messaging, and they still kept the other screens afterwards. But yeah, I mean, I think that was the next iteration. You share good content and people, the good thing about sharing content is people start iterating upon your original idea, and then it's a win-win for everybody. So I really like it.
Yeah.
Okay. And guys, guess what? Like ASO and growth in these markets a bit easier. I talked to an entrepreneur, and I won't name names, I won't tell the app, but I talked to an entrepreneur in MAU Vegas. He was there from Brazil. He was living in Miami. He had lived in Miami too. But anyways, he's like, Steve, we're making about 100,000 plus in just Brazil, spending a lot of money on like Facebook and profitable, right? And he's been able to grow just in Brazil. That's it. That's his own market. And he's been able to take it like to a very high levels just in Brazil. So like, don't ignore it and lean into your strengths is what I would say.
Yeah. No, we want to translate the app to Portuguese too. So yeah.
That's awesome. And I'll make sure my team knows that, hey, focus on these markets. I know we have a refresh in Mexico and Chile. The downside is everybody uses Spanish Mexico except for Portugal, right? Like Brazil. But it's like everything is the Mexico localization. And so for Argentina, for Chile, for all the Latin countries, we have to use the Spanish Mexico localization. So yeah, go ahead, Gabe.
The Mexican Spanish is not a problem in these kinds of books. It's like if you're reading a children's story, you like it to be read in British English, for example. So it's a tone that really fits the genre.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. That's good to know.
Yes, there's no rejection at all from Mexican Spanish in other markets here.
Yeah. No, I meant like I couldn't localize it. Like I can't have a different ASO for Argentina, for Chile, for Peru. I have to have it just use Spanish. Everything has to be Spanish Mexico.
Oh, I do have it.
But they like it in Peru and in Chile, but we love it here in Argentina.
Yeah.
We have a weakness for Mexican Spanish.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think Gabe wants to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Gabe.
But you're mute.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry. I think you're controlling that. But yeah, just what is considered a better option when they had like that screen you just showed where you were kind of saying, hey, the system beats the willpower. Like, what's better, to have a couple points about that on the same screen there, or breaking it up into, like, do you want to have that one clear idea of the willpower over the system, or the system over the willpower in that one screen, like, versus like, hey, if there's 2-3 points about that, or is the point to combine really that one thought into that one screen, and then each screen should be a different thought? Or would you want to compound that, if that's like the main thing that people are finding that is the hard part? I need a system, my willpower is not good enough. Would you want to ever like compound that over 2 or 3 screens to land that in? Or do you want to try to land it all on that one screen? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would do an A/B test.
Yeah.
I would do an A/B test and see the metrics, because it's like,
You just never know, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind the one screen. So this is an app that allows you to quit smoking weed, right, Gabe? And you can scroll, but what they found was like people would, and this was through trial and error, right? People would activate, but they would cancel. And so what they were trying to test was, hey, if we just show them exactly what the 7-day plan is going to look like, what the 14-day plan is going to look like, then perfect, right? And so for you, and then for Kibit, like I don't know if it's that necessary to do something like this. I think it depends on the app. It's like, hey, we want you to, like with Kibit, it's like, I'm cool with the animation, and then we want you to try Kibit for free. And I think that's good. It's worth testing, like Sebastian said, whether it's day 0, day 1, all that stuff. So
Knowing your audience, right? Like if you're helping people stop a habit, they probably have already considered other things. So if you can kind of outlay what you're going to be offering a little more in depth, maybe something like that, they're more willing to buy.
Yeah, I love it. Anthony says, I have a fitness app that makes lots of money in Brazil. It's my top country. There you go.
Well, the editorial market in Brazil is huge, so maybe we can there, of course.
The what market?
The editorial market, the book market is huge in Brazil. They have,
and with Brazil, like we have our own localization. That's what all I meant. It's like I wish I hadn't, like, because then I could focus on what search volume. Because when I was looking at the ASO, sometimes there's keywords that have lots of search volume in Mexico, but not a lot in Chile. So I would love to change the ASO for Chile specifically. Then just, that's all I meant by the Spanish Mexico stuff.
Oh, of course.
Great. Yeah.
Crypto Crunch, what's up? I didn't know you were in New York. Kevin is here too. I can't read the name, but cheers from Ukraine. Good to see you. Miguel. And then Blue Cove FC, Fighting Irish. I wonder if this time gets us the European crowd a little bit better. Argentina's 4 hours away. What is it, like 12:30, 1:30 around?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, duh. I'm on the East Coast. What am I thinking? I thought that was on the West Coast.
We're really
I
close.
was adding 4. I just need to add 1. Jamie's here too. All right, so maybe this East Coast. I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. Okay, this is just East Coast time. All right, Sebastian, Nacho, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about with Kibit?
I guess.
No. We always have a doubt about organic advertising. In difference from we're using Meta, we're using Google, we're using the classic digital marketing tools. But here in Latin America, we have a whole network of podcasts, of cultural newspapers. So kind of a natural audience could be there. But does that really work? Is that really a good idea to have non-traditional advertising or advertising articles in newspapers or things like that?
Or PR, I think. But
Yes, it does.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes is the answer.
Yeah, the easy answer, my friend. Let me show you this slide real quick, and I love visuals. So this was exactly my talk yesterday, Nacho, where I was showing like different mindsets, like distribution, right? I think a lot of people focus on features and trying to get those right. And what do I do? Obviously, all those are important. They go hand in hand, right? But what I always say is, if you have downloads, I can help you make more money, because that's easy, right? If you have the attention. And I always say, like, this is what happened with me. Like, I didn't seek. I know a lot of people are new to the channel, and they're always like, the one thing I wouldn't say hate, but like I get annoyed with, be like, oh, Steve, you have your agency. The podcast is just a way to feed it. And I'm like, no. See, you just joined. I started the podcast because I wanted to grow my own apps and learn from my heroes. But 15 months of doing this on my own, I was not making as much money as I did with my job, right? I was making 125,000 at my job. And that made 90,000 on my own. Now I'm proud of the 90,000, but I couldn't figure it out. And then 15 months into my entrepreneurial journey, I kept thinking about what's working and what's not working. And I just said, people kept asking me, help me with my app launch, help me with my app launch. And so I said, fuck it, let's not do anything else. And let's just help people with their app launch. And let's just go all in on that. And then that completely changed from 90 to 164 to 200 and now to wherever we're at right now. It's like that completely changed because I listened to my audience, because I had the distribution. Like, luckily, people were learning along with me. And so everything works. Nacho, you got to find a way that works for you, what you guys feel like you're best at. This is a great Gary Vee quote that I had really responded with early in the days. It's an old one, by the way, but there's 300 million ways to do it. You just got to find a way that works for you. And so PR definitely does work, right? And if that's going to be your advantage, I would lean into that a bit more. And so yeah, anyways, I agree with you, Sebastian. Organic might not be, because when I was looking at the ASO, it's going to be like audiobooks, books, right? Not a lot of people are still searching for book summaries. They are searching for like Headway and Blinkist. So book summaries versus a brand, your Kibit brand is going to be higher than book summaries. So social, paid marketing, a lot more affordable in those countries. And then PR would be the combination of the growth levers that I would try to go after with you. And I like for me, like, the reason I wanted to do this with you guys specifically too, you too, Gabe, but is because I wanted to, I think there's a great case study here, right? Like, hey, let's not ignore. I asked my friend in Brazil, I said, come on, let's do this, because I think this is a great case study. Like, don't The world is huge. The world is huge.
Okay, great.
All right, leaning on our differentials.
Yes,
That's
sir.
great advice.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
All right. Quest up. What's up, Hakeem? I got to meet Hakeem in person here and have lunch with him. What's up, Nick? Good to see you. All right, my friend. Let's go, Gabe. Let's Giftology. Tell me why you built this app, Gabe. I'm always curious.
Yeah. Basically, I have a bunch of friends and family where every time there's someone's birthday, the family kind of has like a group text that we send to each other. But you have to think about, like, there's always that one person that it is their birthday. So there's like actually 20 individual group texts that is missing the one person that it is their birthday. So I thought, you know what, my parents had always had like the Rolodex or and I feel like now with millennials, with Gen X, is like we just don't really capture people's birthdays anymore or important dates anymore. So I said, you know what, I think there's something here that I could try out. And so that was the first side of it, is, hey, what's an easy way to just kind of like swap dates with each other, have it land on your calendar automatically. And then I thought, okay, well, is there a way also to kind of monetize this? And I said, okay, well, if I can tap into the gifting side of it, then maybe I can make some money that way too, without maybe having a traditional paywall or something like that. So I said, okay, I searched for some partners, and I found a good partner to partner with that had a corporate gifting kind of structure where, it automates the gifting process. The person gets to pick what they want within the budget, blah, blah, blah. So I basically matched those two things together. So this is like the personal side of that. And so we built it, and we've been now in the last few months just kind of slowly getting it out there, getting it into our own personal networks and stuff. And so that's kind of in a nutshell. We don't have a ton of users just yet, but we have about 200 users. So we're new in the game, but the good thing is that it's very sticky. The people that are actually going through the process, which I think is a little bit harder, a little bit more work, you could say, for the users to get that like immediate value compared to maybe other things where it's like click and you're instantly getting something. You do have to, and that's part of one of the questions I have for you, is like, when you have an app like this where there is a second and third step, outside of just downloading it, to kind of see that aha moment of what we're trying to do, how do we grow that? How do we build around kind of getting people to do that? But the good thing is, once they have connected with, let's say, 2 or 3 different people, those people have a spouse, 1 or 2 kids, pretty quickly you got 10, 15, 20 dates on your calendar that you didn't have before. Just the other day, I used it myself personally with a friend of mine and his son, who's like 5, and I would have never even remembered or even known or anything. And I'm like, hey, tell little Johnny, Uncle Gabe, happy birthday. And I sent him a gift through the app. He got to pick what he wanted, and that instantly just like doubled down on mine and his college relationship. Like instantly we're like back on the saddle of like talking a little bit more. So I was like, this is good. There's something good here about this. I like it a lot. But the growth strategy, even by working with your team, has been a little bit different, because it's not really like a big search thing in the app stores. There is a little bit extra work for that aha moment. It doesn't really it's not really in your face immediately. So some different strategy, I think, is needed to push something like this.
I like it. Okay. Don't worry, Daniel. I see Jamie. I see the background noise. Sorry, Gabe. We can hear all the folks in the background. Not a big deal. But I really like this idea. Yeah, thanks, bro. So I want to show a few things off right here. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to my team in particular about is, Gabe, like what we can do. I know we're helping you on the social stuff. So this is somebody I ran to. I'm gonna shout him out, and so hopefully it's okay. But I had dinner with him last night. Jack through Paddle and Superwall had a great dinner, wearing Superwall's shirt last night. And I was talking to Jack, and he was like, in the beginning, Gabe, and because of social, like maybe you're not this person, and that's okay. But he's like, look, I think it's really important that founders create the creatives, create the videos.
Yeah.
So, and I know we're trying to help you with that, but we can edit them, but maybe you can, like we can be the editing and the creative ideas, but then that helps you know your product. You have the passion, right? And I did a podcast interview with, I forget his name, but the app was called the Birthday app. And he said the same thing, Gabe. Once we got users in, it became a very, very sticky app. His retention is extremely high. And so I would probably lean in on that front a little bit more. And I do think that ASO, there is some ASO around this. So I put birthday tracker because technically that's what you do, right? But the main keyword is going to be birthday reminder, birthday countdown. So it's not like there isn't an ASO play here, birthday wishes. Like we could try to tackle this from an ASO perspective as well as social media. So I think there's some interesting play around just ASO just for your particular app versus Sebastian and Nacho.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think as people usually are like either on the marketing side or on the product side, right? You either love building stuff and you want to tinker with that app nonstop, but then you're like, how can I find someone to market? And it's really and truly, like you said, it's doing it yourself. And I saw a really cool video the other day where like you basically got to commit to, especially for consumer apps, like you don't even have to do long form. You could just do short form. Like you could do all the reels and stories and stuff, but you kind of need to commit to like a video a day, like literally like, because if you don't get enough videos out there and you get enough signal of like what your audience is like responding to double down on and to actually like decide what you're going to pay, put money behind for ads, like you just don't know. And so if you hire somebody, for making the videos, like you said, initially, it's probably you with a iPhone, authentic as hell, right? Like no editing, like doing that for a few months with, with CapCut or something, what I mean? Just like making raw videos and just pumping. And I think that's probably going to be what most people don't want to do, but it's probably needed for early stage, apps with indie guys,
Yeah. I think the way I would say this is my opinion. It's not because people say like the one video a day, and I think it becomes simpler to digest. But I think if we peel the onion layers off of that really means like create enough content so you're pulling data, right? Like kind of you said it, Gabe. You're like, hey, if you post one day, you're gonna get data and what resonates with it. And I think what sophisticated marketers will do, especially when they're running paid ads, is have a concept. Try 3 different, and this is what we do with our stuff too. It's like, have a concept. I'm like, look guys, 80% of the content could be the same, but try a different hook, like try a different caption, right? And now it's like one concept multiplied by 3 and it's 4 different videos. And now you're just testing 4 different videos and it's really iterating on one concept. And once you find that winning concept, then it's just like, iterating on the tiny little details too.
You got to find an outlier, you know what I mean? Because everything else is just going to be noise in the abyss. It's like you got to find something that pops, and then that's what you double down on. Or, if you have other people helping you out, so kind of sharing that knowledge of like, hey, this out of these 10 videos, this one actually got like 10x the amount of views. It might not be a lot of views, may went from 10 views to 100 views, but it's like okay, a little bit of more pulse there on that one. And then the other question I was going to ask you, Steve, was, when you do have something like mine, right, where it's not like Kibit, where it's like instant value, pick a book, just like instantly get like a really cool, like, summary and feedback and everything else of the book you're reading. But like in mine, it's like, all right, I have to download the app, go through onboarding, share it with somebody else, get their birth dates, which their birthday might not even be for like 6 months, right? You're like, oh, cool. Now when the birthday happens and you're there and you give them a gift and it's like, oh, that's great. But I have a long-tailed thing. So it's like, what's your thoughts on something like that, like the birthday tracker guy, where it's like that long tail, long-term value thing?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to get my phone to hook up again. Let's see if it happens. So Gabe, the thing that I noticed with the birthday app was I would get reminders every day. Like almost every day would be somebody's birthday.
Yeah, that's true. If you can have some kind of message that people are not going to feel spammed with, you know what I mean? Like as long as it's not like something weird, I had a little onboarding video made
That's
for people
awesome,
that can
dude.
skip. Yeah. So like had someone help me make the video that just is like a quick 1 minute, like go through the steps of the way it works. People can obviously skip it if they want to, but it was just meant to just, give them the type of format they may like. But
Are you seeing any drop off on the sign up pages?
you know what? Because most people are coming here, and at least for now, because of the fact that like it's a referral, like I'm not really having much problems with the onboarding experience.
Okay.
But I think, compared to these other guys here who have definitely had a lot more downloads than I had, that like they're, they have a lot more volume going through to test stuff. For me, I'm still a little bit earlier stage than they are, but the video was actually like a part of like giving a better understanding to how the app works. So that helped a little bit, but once most people get in there and just start clicking around, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. So one of the things that the advantage of the birthday app was he was able to get people's birthday just with a phone number. I don't know how he did that. And I don't know if you can do that.
I think you mentioned something like that. It's like there is some kind of data source that you can tap into, probably some kind of API thing, some other company out there where there's a date related to now the only thing with that is, there's other dates associated with that person that they could probably add and share later. Part of this onboarding is just kind of like what your team kind of gave me in terms of like setting up the person for like, like when's the last time you forgot a birthday, and like when's the last time you like didn't know what somebody wanted, to try to like set them up per se, right? Of like the two big like reasons why you would even have the app. So like you could add your household members here, if you have a spouse and kids. The idea is essentially, right, like you have your unique link that has your data that you share with me, we accept, we swap. So like your household, my household swap. So if I have 5 people in my family, it's instantly on your calendar. You have 5 people, it's instantly on mine, done. And now you get reminders, a couple of reminders about those birthdays as they get closer to them.
Nice.
We did add a notification, not a notification, but a pop-up for asking for a review after you do your first swap. We did add a couple, 2 or 3 notifications that are going to go out like once a month to be like, don't forget to like share dates with your friends and family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so yeah.
And then is the monetization just like an affiliate? So I have to buy a gift?
It's related to the gifts right now. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to make a percentage of all the gifts that are purchased through the app. So
I like it. The thing I would say is, I don't know what your question was actually that you wanted to get into, but the feedback from the onboarding would be, I like the onboarding. Think about ways where you can populate this, because I think it's going to be a long time. Like my dad loves this stuff. This would be for my dad, Gabe. Like I go, Dad, when's my, third cousin's birthday? And then he would have a notes thing, and he has
all our parents have this stuff written down, and they acquired it over like decades.
Yes.
Right. And so I'm trying to like represent that a little bit in our era,
But it would be good, like if he can load it onto the app and then he can share it with me, that would be so phenomenal. But I think I'm lazy, so that's what I liked about the birthday app, was like I would get a push notification being like, it's Sebastian's birthday, it's Gabe's birthday, it's Nacho's birthday, and I can just be like, send a text and all that stuff to them. So I think I had to populate it. For me, like I'm just only going to populate 2 or 3 of the most important people. But I think what the birthday app was really cool was just through my contacts, he was able to pull everybody's birthday. So think about a feature like that might be interesting, because then it becomes more. And then what I would try to do is the gift thing might be interesting regardless, because for those who we already know whose birthday it is, maybe you don't need to know their birthday, or for the app to know that today is Gabe's birthday and I need to send him a gift. Maybe the app doesn't need to know that. Maybe I already know it's Gabe's birthday and I'm using your app just to send somebody a gift. So that could be another way of thinking about this.
So
gift
that has
shop.
that now. Send one-time gift. So if like you knew it was my birthday and you just want to use the app to send it to me,
Yeah.
you know, you just click on that and it pops up
Say
the
other?
devices. Other. So you would put your first name, last name, or the person's first name, last name. You would put the message, and then what happens is they get a link that you can share with them directly, text message, WhatsApp, whatever.
Mhm.
And then what happens is you pick your budget, and you select the card, for example. So you select that and you pick the card you want. So like there's different categories of cards, and that's a digital card. So it'll open up, it'll you read it, everything. And so this is not gonna
So it's all gift cards.
It's physical gifts. So if you go back and watch the video again, eventually, whatever, the onboarding video, this is all physical products being mailed to you. So you're actually picking from like a huge catalog of like super cool gifts that you're picking from. So like that was one of the cool things too, right? It's not like, oh, gift card, I'll use it. It's gonna be in my wallet. Like you're gonna get mailed like your new water tumbler that you wanted, and along the way, like shipping and delivery and stuff like that, you get text messages like, hey, that gift from Gabe just shipped.
But then why do you need my credit card? I don't even know what I'm sending. I'm like a little bit confused on the screen. I don't know, Sebastian, I'll joke, like feel free to jump in, but I'm a little bit confused on.
So this is you sending someone else a gift.
Okay.
So when they pick the gift they want in your budget, it hits your card.
Okay, they choose the person.
They're choosing the gift. You're not sending them a gift. So I'm sending you the link to say, hey, I'm sending you like a link to Amazon, and I'm saying, hey, you can spend up to $50. You pick whatever you want. You go through the checkout process, but guess what? You just don't have the payment part. You just have the shipping and everything else, and this sends it to you. Have you ever used a corporate gifting? Like you ever had a company where you have 1,000 employees, you load up all their dates, their birth dates, and then what happens is they automatically get an email saying happy birthday, open the card, they read it, they pick what they want, it gets shipped to them, and it hits the card of the sender. Yeah. So this is the same thing. And so a takeaway for me might be like, you're confused, someone else is going to be confused too, right? Type of thing. Maybe there's some complexity here, but that's kind of how we set it up for now. One-time gift or automated.
Don't hate me for saying this, Gabe, but isn't this a gift card then? like I'm sending you $50 that you can spend with whatever you want to spend it on.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense.
Can you create like a group?
What's that?
Can we create like a group of people who send you like a gift within a group? Because like I'm a dad, of two small kids, and every week I have a different WhatsApp group with a kid from kindergarten,
birthday or something, going to some birthday
every
party.
week is like a different conversation with the other parents. So okay, we can collect money from that week is gonna be me, the other week is gonna be another parent, and every week we have a different birthday from another kid.
Of course,
a headache to.
It's crazy, yeah.
Money. And that will be great if you can okay, I'm gonna share all the parents in one app. Everybody gonna send the I don't know, the money to the parents' birthday kids. And
so in this case, I guess the application, at least the way it's built now, would be like, hey, Sebastian, you would download the app, put your dates for your family in the app, right? Your household, and then you would share it with the group and say, hey guys, the 5, 6, 7 people, 10 people that I want to share my dates with, I'm comfortable sharing my dates with. You just accept my invitation. That'll automatically guide all of them through the App Store onboarding process as well. Your connection with them, your friend connection, will be waiting for them at the other end of their download, right? So essentially, when they're done downloading and adding their dates, they accept your invitation. Now, guess what? You guys have swapped. So basically, it's just you're going to do that individually with anybody you want to swap with. Then eventually, if I could show you my app, I mean, I don't have mine up, but I have let's say 15 connections. So those are the 15 parents that you have with each of them have 2, 3, 4 kids. So before you know it, your calendar has 40 dates that this thing is sending you notifications of. Every household member, you get a notification 2 week, 1 week, and the day before. And if you want to automate the gifting, you don't have to just be like every time set it up. You can automate ahead of time. Hey, there's like 30 people that I want to automate the gift for. On their birthday, it sends them the link with the card, with the message, with their option to pick their own gift, right? That they want from the selection. Because kids don't want gift cards, but if they get a gift delivered to their door of the Lego set, it's like, and they got to pick out what they wanted too. So it's the experience of picking out and shopping for a gift, like on Amazon, and getting that gift delivered to your door. If you just got a digital gift card, the parent still needs to do all these other actions versus, hey, Uncle Sebastian, pick what you want from this store. They pick it out, it goes to their house. So that would be the concept. Hopefully that helped out a little bit.
It did. Gabe, I think it would be interesting to see all the gifts too. Like what's available.
Yeah. I think that's a good takeaway. It's like maybe the missing link here is like what's being sent. Is it a gift card? How are they doing it? I think maybe on the gifts homepage here, instead of saying one-time gift, maybe I need to like edit this a little bit to be like, here's the type of gifts that are available. Here's maybe a little bit of a description of how the process works. The onboarding video, even though you skipped it, which probably most people would skip it still, actually went over this like pretty in detail with visuals. But like you said, it's not like I forced you to watch it and you watch it all the way through and you're like, oh, cool. You skipped it, which is okay. Most people are probably going to skip it, but maybe I need to bake it into more areas of the app where it's like force fed or easier to digest per se.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's just one person, right? So I would get more data on this and I would just try to get some way. And I was trying to think of an angle where we might be able to do like the app advice campaign just to get some data and some downloads just to see what they do. But I would try to have like, you can even use usertesting.com or like send it to a friend and be like, did you get it? But that's just one person's opinion. So I'm not saying that I'm right and I didn't know what was happening. Most people might be watching the video and I just didn't do that.
No, I agree. I think that you have to make it as simple as possible. And there's probably, I'm sure me being technical and builder, I'm like features galore. Like, let me think of every situation and maybe it does need to be simplified a hair or modified a bit. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I agree.
We have to add like 3 or 4 layers of onboarding into the app. We're 2 years right now into the app, and we're adding. And we added a video tutorial just a couple of months ago because we needed to over-explain. There's no danger of over-explaining, really. So we do it in every screen that you get into. You get a little onboarding to the side, a little video, something to remind you how the app works, and most importantly, how the app benefits you. Because it's another chance to show off the value proposal.
Totally, that's a great piece. That's a great nugget. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Nacho. All right. Blueco says, Gabe, this concept makes me think of the company gifts. It could be easily sold as a way for businesses to improve the company culture. We actually do send about $100 to all our employees on their birthday, but my head of operation merge, she does it all. So I don't remember anything, but
yeah, totally. Like the corporate gifting side it exists. And like when I heard about that exact thing, that's what resonated with like, can I bring this to consumers? Because I think sending the gift on time and knowing what someone wants is kind of an issue too. You know what I mean? Like, so if you can kind of build that in, I think my biggest thing is probably just like streamlining the process. Yeah. Like simplifying it maybe a little bit where it's a little more of a one-track thing. I think you hit the app and it's like, oh, here's a ton of stuff and I don't really know how it works exactly. But that's where, like you said, speaking with your team and maybe thinking about jumping into a couple of different groups to get some more users, to get more feedback. Because when you send it to your friends and family, they're just going to instantly be like, oh, that's great, right? Like maybe they're not as critical as like someone random, like potentially like yourself, where you're like, I'm in here and I'm lost and I'm done. I deleted the app. Bye. Like, you're like, so yeah.
Well, I mean, what I would do is like, if I saw the gifts on here too, right? Because I'm sure you're using one partner, right? Then I can be like, I can add certain things to my wish list. And then now like it starts, and people using your app can see my wish list, and now they know. So I think the problem with me sometimes is like, I could get a gift card, but I would really love to know, Gabe, like what you're really into, and get you a gift that you'd be like, oh my God, this is cool. Like he must know me so well, right?
Yeah.
And so like if I saw the gift, I could send them the money for them to pick out their gift, or I can get inspired and be like, oh, these are the gifts available. Gabe would love this one. Let me pick this one and send it to Gabe too, instead of just doing it through this flow where I pick the money as well.
Yeah. I mean, the point is they pick the gift they want. So you're just sending them a link to pick what they want. If you're just like, here's a link to Amazon to go pick what you want. But regardless, I think that the true value of the app long term is the date swapping, because the process of how the gifts work, what gift you're getting, how you're getting it, I think that can evolve over time. But I think the sticky part here, like the birthday app, is you may not even have gifts at all in the birthday app. It's just a reminder app alone, which automatically brings value. So like you said originally, I think it's like get 10,000 people to swap dates, and that's 30,000 dates now that are being tracked through the app. I think that's the biggest value. And then introducing different things to them. Maybe someone wants just a gift card, someone just wants a digital free card, whatever. So I think that's probably the biggest unlock, is like what motivates people to share the dates. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a daily reminder, a weekly reminder, something, a tug on the heartstrings. That's probably where I think that we probably got to focus on, more as well.
Anthony says this seems like a nice add-on. Just giving ideas, okay, Gabe? Don't go chasing all these ideas, but it would be good add-on for WhatsApp. Most birthday greetings are done on messaging services. So if there's a way to do an add-on on WhatsApp, it might be easier than downloading. Just an idea for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Slack integration too. Anthony's got ideas. Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, it could just be a little side plugin thing, or maybe a web app. A little bit different approach in some cases where they don't really want to download the app, but they can just do a web-based, like maybe less friction, something like that. But I think the value comes in like you said, if there's 50 people in your little sphere of like birthdays, if you had those on your calendar, like it would be cool, right? So like, how do you just solve that problem? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be cool. All right, I want to shout out Anthony one more time. He's talking about how there's a dilemma between adding more features versus marketing. And I think that's what we all, kind of go through. And I think it's just like do one thing, then do the next, like marketing, product, and just do one by one. But he said one key thing that he's learned is, I feel like making features, I need to figure out how to turn those features into something marketable. For example, he added more stats in his app and making it more visually appealing so that's more shareable on social media. And so that was a good point that he made as well. Yeah. Fellas, why don't we do this? I run out of time and I got a plane to catch. It's literally an hour from my hotel to JFK. But why don't we end some dad jokes? And then I know I didn't do the app audits, but I will promise you I will do them next week. Can't I skip the dad jokes? Am I right, guys? Come on. We got to do that. We got to leave people happy. All right. Sebastian, Nacho. Sebastian, did you say you had one? Or Nacho, you said you had too many, right? Oh, you're on mute, bro.
You're on mute.
I'm kind of a dad joke. The Argentinian dad jokes are really incredibly lame. But I heard one in another talk that a man was talking. We were talking about a very serious onboarding and paywall stuff, and we were talking about our pain points with different paywalls, and one of the guys that was working with us said, I was in Amazon. I went to buy camouflage pants and I didn't find any, and we didn't understand at first, but no, we went to buy. He went to buy camouflage pants and he didn't find any. So it's exactly the same. Everyone was dumbfounded. Everyone was deadpan, like saying, Is he for real?
Yeah.
What's our
It's a
learning
deep
here?
one.
No, it was just a joke, and he almost started to cry. So that was fantastic.
That was a good one. One more time for you, Nacho. Sebastian, you got one?
I used to have one that I use with the other teams, like because we were really into apps, and it's like, why was the app so bad at relationships? Because it kept crashing after the first date.
There you go. All right, take it home, Gabe. You got last one?
Yeah, I tried to think of, like an app related one. It's like, why did the marketer break it up with the developer? Because her notifications were just too pushy. You know what I mean?
That's a good one. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play because there's too many S's. All right, Sebastian won. So
Yeah.
put S if you got for Sebastian. Put should I go I or N for Nacho, and then put G for Gabe. And then Bluco said, "Lame. This is why we like dad jokes."
All right.
I love it, guys. Thank you so much for doing this with me as the votes come in. I really am rooting for you both, Nacho and Sebastian. Keep me posted on this new focus. I would love to have you guys back on and turn this into an amazing case study and see the growth in there too. And same with you, Gabe. I'll talk to my team. I think there's some ASO play here that we can still make, and we don't have to rely on social media to grow this app. But I really am grateful to all three of you for allowing me to do this and being so open on this live stream. I know it feels like it's just us, but there's a few people watching this, and there's going to be a few more people listening to this. All right. It's on you. Voted for Gabe. And then Gabe. All right. It looks like it's a tie between Nacho and Gabe. Sorry, Sebastian.
Oh.
We need one more vote to knock it off. Come on, give me one more. And then Nacho, I don't know. Maybe we'll owe you something when we all meet in person. How about that? We'll come out to Buenos Aires.
Oh, please come over to Buenos Aires. We love to tour people through our city. We're very proud of it.
I love it. I love it. One of my good friends I met through the app space. He's Argentinian who is now in Spain. But yeah, he was out in the US for a little bit, and we've become really good friends.
Oh, a wonderful community here.
Yeah, I love it. All right, it's a tie. So Gabe, Nacho, we both owe you. It's on us. All right, Sebastian, we're the losers. The two S's are the losers. Yeah. We owe these guys. All right, Gabe's already out. All right, guys, thank you so much for doing this. Good luck. Great job on the app. I'm so excited for it. It looks really awesome. I mean, one thing. Oops, sorry, Gabe. One thing that I did notice from the app was just the amount of content that you guys have. Like you go, oh man, this stupid phone is not connecting. Anyways, I'll show it through this if I can. Let's see if it pulls up.
Well, we're adding content all the time, and we're measuring what people like to read.
Right there, like it says the 5 pillars of Hispanic wisdom, past, present, future. Like you guys are great job.
Yes, we wanted to mix some wisdom or some classic wisdom kind of things with some entrepreneurship books, and they really is working quite well.
H, did you want to pick a winner of other people who voted?
Please, thank you.
No? All right. Let's do it. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week. We got a great guest coming on next week where we're going to be talking to Felix. It was somebody who, I think Joe was somebody who wanted to bring Felix on, and we're going to talk all about ad monetization. I know it's not relevant for you guys, but for some of the others, it's very interesting as well. All right, guys.
Appreciate
back
you guys.
to our
Thank
normal
you so
time
much.
at 12 p.m. Pacific Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks.
I'll
Bye-bye.
see you guys next time.
Bye.